What's going on with it, people? Back again, just my thoughts. I got to talk about the current. Getting a little stuff, you know what I'm saying? Getting stuff off my app. I'm about to make a couple runs in a minute. So yeah, let's talk about brother Will Smith, the brother Chris Rock, that situation. And for me, I feel like it's a learning situation. Now, let me just say this, man. I'm not against either one of them. I'm a fan of both of them, regardless of what certain things I wasn't a fan of, certain things Chris Rock has said or whatever. But, hey, man, everybody have opinions. You know what I mean? If you're going to be mad and hold a person to one thing they say, I try to judge a person as what they done, as a whole. And I'm a fan of Chris. He's actually one of my favorite comedians. I feel like this, man. The way he responded at the end, as far as him not fighting back, I'm glad because I don't know. I don't know what was going on. No one knows what was really bothering brother Will, and I think he would have really hurt Chris. And I think Chris handled it with class, the way he responded. I mean, I don't think people, I know he's probably embarrassed and it might bring up some sort of trauma, but here's the thing. I respect that he kept the show going so Questlove can get his award. I didn't see it live. This is kind of things I learned in the aftermath, but I was glad that he kept the show going and things still had some integrity. Now, I think the lesson to be learned in this whole situation is that we live in this kind of meta world. Everything's kind of fake. Social media is where people can feel like they can say certain things and nothing's going to happen. And I think with brother Will Smith, when that happened with his wife, regardless if he laughed or not, he probably was caught off guard because it was an initial joke. About him, and then they kind of, what I'm saying, in the midst of laughing, and then you hear people laughing at your wife, you probably felt the way. I don't know how he felt. That wasn't, she's not my wife, you know what I'm saying? But I would have been mad, yes. But I'd have walked up on stage. I mean, I don't know. Probably, if I was mad, angry, um, at his level, you don't know. He's a millionaire. So I'm just saying it's a build up, probably close to a billion, probably, but it was a build up. I can pretty much guarantee that's a build up of a lot of stuff that's going on. And I just feel like, as a man, a lot of times our hands are tied. You always constantly hear how we don't protect our women. We're not fathers. You always hear all these negative stereotypes about black men. And it's all because it's all a systematic thing. And it's always to keep us divided and always confused. And the fear is of us being men and black people, and us having families, and you know what I mean, because they want us to be dependent on us. Now, why does that even play a part in this Will and Chris situation? Is because Will, in my opinion, I'm not saying he was wrong for doing it. I think he did what a man's supposed to do. Now, the way he, could he have pulled him to the side? I think Chris could have pulled him to the side before and let him know, like, hey, I'm gonna make some jokes, because that wasn't a comedy club. That was the Oscars for him to, win his first Oscar, and he was, potentially was gonna win his first Oscar. I don't know if they knew that or they didn't know that, but he was up for an award. So I think that's a conversation that needs to be had. So I think you can say that both ways. I'm not for sure. A lot of people are projecting their own fears because it's kind of like, oh my God, he wouldn't have done that. If you don't know what that man would do. I think but that's people's own fears. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, he wouldn't have did that, because you probably wouldn't have done that. You probably would have gauged it from like, if can I beat this person? You don't know Will like that. You don't know what's inside that man. But that's that fake world we live in where people feel like that. And I'm just keeping it a hunt. I'm keeping it a buck. It is what it is. A lot of people have their own opinions, but it's all based off of their brand. You know what I'm saying? What affects their bottom line? This doesn't affect my bottom line. Now, for me, I just feel like it just got straightened. It was some situations. It was something that happened. It was a buildup, and he let him know, keep my wife's name out your mouth. And unfortunately, it happened on national TV, but it wasn't a fight. It was a slap. And me as a man, the times I've slapped another individual, that was a warning. And a lot of people are like, oh man, he wouldn't do that. Somebody gonna get killed. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. A lot of people talk. A lot of people talk. But when it come down to it, somebody actually run up on you and stuff, that's when everybody want to cop a play. That's when you will start seeing the hearts of men for real. And for me to see Will do what he did, that man had enough. That man had a breaking point, and everybody has one. And I think the world, the alarming part of the world is, man, that they treat everything like a proxy, like man, it was kind of like, oh my God, if Will Smith did that, if black men had enough, yeah, yeah, people tired, man. People are tired. I hope, I don't know if they gonna squash it or whatever, because that's the situation. But at the end of the day, that's something that should be thought about. Like, for me as a man, I feel like when you do something to somebody, you have to count all the costs. You make a joke, you can do jokes, but you can still do jokes in a different way. You ain't gotta that man, kind of pull him to the side. They do that with interviews. They go over the questions before, so it doesn't be no response. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, when it's just us, that's what we supposed to just take it. A lot of people, man, the lights get turned off. They gonna have to go on apology tours for something they said 10 years ago. You see what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. If Jada wasn't, a sister, they would, that joke probably wouldn't have been said. But because she was a sister and Will was there, it's like, hey, you trying to force that man to be okay with that? It's not. That's not the case. And I don't know if Chris was 100% like malicious in his intent. I mean, he was probably just telling a joke. They said he didn't know about her condition. But see, again, you don't know. Like, people didn't know about Chadwick Boseman. You don't know. And you have to have that respect, because what happens if somebody respond to you, then you got your family, like Tony Rock felt like he got to stand up for his brother. He's supposed to. But Will was supposed to stand up for his wife. That's all I'm saying. I mean, we making this a big thing and everybody has an opinion on it, and that's cool, but it's a lesson to be learned. Respect. I don't want to hear, I don't care about what Shannon Sharp was saying, being a spokesman for Skip Bayless. I don't care about that. He's sitting there like, yeah, say it. Yeah. And then he can just piggyback off of what you said. Like, that's some goofy stuff, man. I don't get into all that passionate. Hey, you ain't got no wife. Facts. Jim Carrey, you know what I'm saying? I was a fan of Jim Carrey. He's still cool. I love Liar Liar, but I don't want to hear all of these people talking. Like, no, this is stuff that's black stuff. Like, and we all act like, oh my God, they embarrassed us. Why do we care so much? Like, that's how slavery still has a crazy impact on us, because we still sitting here worried about what other people feel about us. That happens. You know how many times people fight and get slapped? It just happened on national TV. It happens. People not mad about the slap. They just mad that it was on national TV, on that stage. It happens at the BET Awards and certain stuff like that. Nobody say nothing, but it happened on that stage with non-black people watching, and then everybody's embarrassed. That's all that's about. But you can't sit around and then say black women are not protected. When a black man has protection, we go through those extremes. Then y'all, oh my God, not that way. You too sensitive. Man, please. And then for people saying that was his job, your job is never to disrespect somebody. If your job is to disrespect somebody, you better be ready for them to respond. I don't care because you're a court judge. I mean, but see that again, people are used to being fake today. People are not real. You listen to a lot of people's conversation. When you talk about the Kanye West situation, Like a lot of people's ideologies and most people's opinions are based off of what the media says and what a large group of people are saying. They don't have their own opinions. A lot of times people don't agree with me, but guess what? That's my opinion. Do I feel like it's always right? No, I mean, it may not be. But I don't deal with the right and the wrong. I deal with what's real. You know what I mean? When it comes to opinions and what actually happens, and my whole thing with the Will and Chris, I'm not gonna say what's right and what's wrong. What happened was real. That was a real moment. A lot of people saying it's fake. I don't believe it was fake. I don't. Fake for what? And if it was horrible. That's a horrible thing to do. Because if that was a stage situation, now then we having another conversation. But I don't believe that. I believe it was a real situation that happened, and I think it's a lesson that everybody should take notes. See, most people that's offended by this, we on social media. People can type, they can talk, they can say what they want to say, and then they don't feel like nobody gonna respond to them. They feel like everything you just supposed to take it. You hear people say on social media, this is a joke. Y'all taking this serious. Everybody's a court jester. And they just feel like people can just say what they want to say and there's no consequences to it. And that's not life. You gotta respect others. You gotta respect others, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean that if a woman is out with her man, her significant other, ain't even gotta be her husband, and somebody makes fun of her or makes her feel uncomfortable or she feels threatened, that is the man's job to protect her or make her feel safe. That's it. Like, I don't understand. Where's the conversation at? Where else what we talking about? What we talking about? That's it. Now, the way that man handles that's a different way. But you can't tell a man how to defend. You can't say, hey, man, use your words. What? Like, yeah, okay. But it depends on the situation. And I tell people all the time, in my own personal life, most times I got into fights, the person wasn't even them that I was really mad at. I mean, they might have started it, but I would tell them quick. In the midst of our argument about, that altercation about to jump off, I'm like, I'm about to beat your butt for 10 years of anger. Like, and that's real, because all of the anger that I kept inside, it comes out right then and there. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think it's something that people should learn from this. I think people gonna keep talking about this, and everybody have their own opinions, and they feel like they right. But the one thing you just got to be, as I always say with black folks, just be on code with it, man. It's one of those things, like, you can feel how you feel, but don't be goofy out here. Don't be out here, look what Jim said. Look what, like, man, shut up. Shut up. Because at the end of the day, if it was you, and that's the part I really have a problem with, is because people will sit there, just like what the Kanye was. People have every opinion on something, but it's never like, if it was them in that situation, they would pretty much do the same thing they're complaining about. But just because it's a topic, everybody's like, oh no, come on, man, please, miss me with the fake. I'm allergic to fakeness. I am. And a lot of this stuff right now is just straight fake. I'm sorry. It is. I'm sorry. It's just fake. I can't help it. And people don't even realize they fake. That's why I kind of stay away from people. I listen to people talk. I can love you from afar, but when I see you start doing that fake stuff, I can't. Because what's real is, sometimes what's real is not what's popping. It's not the popular thing, because everything, a brand and everything, has to come with this, the customer is right, and we have to hold ourselves to a certain standard. But the truth is, some people don't want to, the customer might be wrong. And sometimes you tired. Sometimes you can't have it your way. That's the real. But nobody want to deal with that. And I'll be praying, God help me, because I don't know. The older I get, I'm just like, wow, like, I see why a lot of people's filter just go away. It's like, man, get out of here. Like, I literally have to just stay away. And, like I said, that situation to me, I just think some things got straightened out. I saw two men. I think what Will did, it was important. I think the way Chris responded was important. You know, Chris is probably he feels away, and I know Will is super embarrassed because 30 years of a clean record, and being looked at as the safe brother, and now you don't know what's gonna happen as far as the picture, the image they gonna paint of him because they can, create this crazy narrative, and we just go around, we go along with it. We'll go along with it because it's something to talk about. And of course, like it is, it's distractions. But then one thing I always tell people when they come with the distraction stuff, like, man, you can walk and chew gum at the same time, bro. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's always a distraction. Some of the distractions are good, and I'm gonna this lamp right there. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna take this thing off in a minute, but I think it's cold outside. I don't know. But anyways, distractions sometimes are good. Sometimes, I just think when people be like, y'all distracted by this, y'all need to pay attention to what's going on in the world. Oh, what you gonna do about it? You got already be prepared. They didn't like this system has already showed you that they do a lot of foul stuff. You ain't realized that by now. If you ain't stocked your food and all of this and changed the way you eat and change the way you think, and you just gonna be sitting waiting. You just gonna be sitting on stage waiting for them to slap you. That's it. That's it. So I'm just saying, man, it's like no disrespect to anybody, man. I just feel like that was two men. That stuff that happens behind the scenes probably all the time. It just everybody got a chance to see what happens. It's real. Because he was gonna get slapped. It just happened on TV. People would have preferred it to happen outside, and it would have been a report. And that's the only thing. That's the only reason why people are upset because it happened on national TV. That's it. That's it. It's just nobody want to keep it. It's disgusting because when I was coming up, it felt like people was real. Now everybody is just it's a lot of money involved, and the more money involved, the more brands that's involved, that's involved, and people have to protect their bag. So when people protecting their bag, you start. It's just like you see a salesman, you see a person at a job. They ain't being them. They being fake as heck. Oh my God, this is this right here. Yes, ma'am. Let me hear you. That ain't them. They go home. They ain't saying yes, husband, yes, wife. They're not doing that. Yes, children. Yeah, this right here. No, they're like, what's up? What y'all doing? Shut up. You're loud. That's the real. That's the real. Like I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not even trying to say I just can't be fake. I can't be fake. I'm sorry. I don't know. And I can't entertain fakeness. Despite what you say about Will and Jada's and their relationship, a lot of people talk about the whole um, um, cheating thing, the entanglements or whatever. That has nothing to do with what happened that night. Why ain't he slapped August? First of all, you want things to be behind closed doors. How you know he didn't? Because it wasn't news. I don't think Will's scared. I know the brother had a brother box. I don't know why people think the dude's soft. I mean, because you hear all these other stories about whatever he do, and they do in their own private time. That's them. Whatever. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care. I just respect every man. Every time I see a man, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what they do. You better respect these men because it might just not be them. I tell people all the time, when you see my wife, see me. You see what I'm saying? You see my loved ones, I want you to see. When you see my loved ones, I want you to see me. Because if you do something to them, you gonna see me. There ain't no big bag talk, no big bad talk. But at the end of the day, it's the truth. That's real. Just like Will did what he did to Chris. Now Tony feel like he gotta see him. That's just a part of life. That's the realness. And the crazy part is, it's somebody with Will that's telling, all right, Tony, do something too. It's just a cycle. So how could you prevent that? Don't say that joke. That's it. Or have a conversation, because that's the domino effect. Tony's supposed to feel that way, but you don't think Will ain't got a cousin or somebody that's with him? His money a little bit bigger. You don't think he's paying somebody's? That's somebody's. That's their bag, and their job is to protect him. When Stephen A. said, Stephen A. said, well, Tony Rock had, Chris Rock had some brothers with him. You don't think Will? Like, it's a lot of stuff. Just I just laugh, man. I just like, oh my god, these people live in this meta world. I don't just like. Seem like in years from now, people are just go have these glasses on, and married couples just gonna be like, oh, they're gonna be trying to having these imaginary relation special wrestling moments. They just sitting there, just yeah, like people just it's really getting weird out here. It's very strange. I don't even know, man. Like I don't know. But again, I think that was just a man standing up for his wife. They say they wants to be. They say black women is not protected. I know I get super offended by that because I know that not I bet I protect mine. And I know, like we have a history of doing this, so I don't know why but they love to paint these narratives. Everything is narratives. That's why I don't like. I tell people, man, like I'm not famous. Like me doing these videos, there's probably like a few people that's gonna watch it, but I just do it because I like putting out content. I do music. I'm a rapper, an artist. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was part of three stores, two top in my city, and one nationwide. And I mean, we had people like D.L. Hughley talking about what was going on in my family. And in all of those situations that was top stories, people believed the media more than what actually happened. And I remember people telling me, I'm a part of this story, and they're telling me stories about what's going on in my life like it's real. Well, that ain't what they said on the news, and they saying it like what the news is saying is real. Like you don't realize they're creating this, like they're trying to control a narrative here. And a lot of times they're biased to certain. All depends on who has the most money. Whoever has the most money, that's who they gonna kind of like go with, or whoever is like in control of the situation. You understand what I'm saying? The truth is, when it comes to the news, I don't even watch the news. 'Cause the news, a lot of the news is mostly bogus. I don't even the rumors and all that stuff is like bogus, man. It's not the truth. Majority of them, not. It's not the truth. They just fake lies, and people don't really care because it's entertaining. But for me, I was a part of it, so I just sat back like, whoa. I again, I'm allergic to fakeness, so I can't do it no more. I can't do it. When something's going on, I mean, I know social media is gonna talk about it. I read up on a couple of articles, and that's it. I mostly watch if I watch the news because of the weather. Anything else, I don't because I know it's a narrative. So, you talking about a person's brand, you talking about a person's money and something that's going on. They're protecting their brand. That's why they get out there and they put certain things. You see artists out here on social media putting their life out there is because a lot of times they're trying to get ahead of the narrative. They're trying to flip the narrative because that stuff can get out of hand. And that can, affect their bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So that's why people be putting their business out there. Yeah, well, because you have podcasts, you have what I'm doing, you have so many people that put people's business out there so they get in front of it first or try to attempt to create and redirect what's going on. Because some people will take what you said or take what you've done and flip it and to create it for clickbaits and bring more attention to what they're saying. And then next thing you know, people are scared to get behind you because there's a certain narrative behind your name now because your name becomes a brand. People like to attach brands to certain things. Like if I have a business and if I can get Will Smith to promote my brand, then his followers is going to bring light to my brand. So if he got over 3 million followers, that's going to bring 3 million people that's going to pay attention to what he said about me. And hopefully, if I can just get a third, that's going to uplift my numbers. And it's guaranteed to be more than that. Depending on the bigger the brand, the person that's promoted. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how this game is working, man. You see what's going on. But again, people just love to be goofy out here, man. I don't get it. But whatever, man. Peace to those brothers, man. I hope they both heal. Will should, I know he feel away, because every time a black man we get mad, man, it's almost like the Incredible Hulk. You feel real small, like, why did I do that? Oh my God, I'm like the biggest. I know he feel that way, but if he was to ever hear this, I would tell him, man, what you did, man, without you knowing in a crazy way, you know, you stood up for your wife. And regardless of anybody gonna say it's real, at the end of the day, man, that's what a man supposed to do, bro. You know, and I wouldn't even, I can't tell you not to feel bad about it, but I would tell you that, you know, on the good side, a part of it, you protect your family. You know, if your wife felt the way, you did what you were supposed to do. I would say to Chris, bro, you ain't got nothing to be ashamed of. As far as, you know, you probably wouldn't have said that joke if she wasn't, you know, she wasn't a sister. But whatever, you're a comedian. You're a legend. Nobody expects you to be the gangster. Nobody expects you to be tough. And you handled yourself well after that, and you went on with the show. And I hope both of you brothers much success. I hope y'all $1 billion+ and y'all live a happy life. I'm not gonna tear either one of you down. I side with Will on what he did, and I also appreciate with Chris how he responded. Um, and I'm always gonna be Team Us. Everything else, I don't want to hear Jim Carrey. I don't care what anybody else got to say. I don't care. So that's my opinions. My opinion on that. Peace and love. Dale Road 2 present will be dropping soon. Turning out really good. So that's the lesson learned, man. You know what I'm saying? Respect others, man. You know, don't get out here and thinking you could just say, type, whatever, and you know, like people just supposed to take it as a joke. Everybody ain't playing, man. Everybody ain't playing. And that's real. Peace.